For more, we welcome in CBS Sports MLB insider and host of Nothing Personal, David Samson. David, the Midsummer Classic in the rear view. We now turn our focus to deadline day, the playoff push. But before we snap back to reality, your immediate reaction to this edition of the All-Star game is what?
My mind is just blown watching Shohei Ohtani. I was thinking to myself as he was pitching in the first inning that he just also was the leadoff hitter. And I'm pretty sure I watched him last night in the home run derby. So I was trying to figure out how it's possible that one person can do three things, but he can. So if you weren't watching, you missed something, and you ought to be watching him going forward, because in my 18 years, I've never seen anything like it. No one ever talked about anyone who could do anything like that. We talked about some two-sport people like Deion Sanders or Bo Jackson, but basically when you're a pitcher and a hitter in Major League Baseball, that's even harder than being a two-sport athlete in my mind, and it was simply fantastic. He handled all the scrutiny, all that was going on around him this past weekend, and he did it with aplomb. And he was just, it's great for baseball. I loved it. It was also great for me to watch all the first-time All-Stars and look at all the young players in the game. I think there were over 40 first-time All-Stars, and that's pretty cool. Is it because there were some injuries and some people who didn't want to show up? Yes, but you know what? We got to see how great baseball's present and future is.
No doubt. The story coming in, largely Shohei Ohtani. Story heading out is also Ohtani, but Vladdy Jr. having himself a night. Really felt, like you said, this year's All-Star game was a showcase of the future of the game. Do you walk away from this night feeling a sense of heightened optimism about the game that you love so much?
Well, I've always loved it. I've always been optimistic because I'm a glasses half full guy. But I can tell you that as a longtime executive, I was watching Rogers, the Marlins, my last first-round pick in 2017. I was watching Eovaldi, who we had. I was watching JT Realmuto hit a home run. I was watching Vlad Guerrero hit a home run, and I met him and knew him when he was a little boy when I was with the Expos. So I felt old. I felt happy, and I just felt like I'm so excited for the second half of the season. But it's so good to the MLB All-Star game, for me, is the #1 All-Star game. People are playing to win. The players are playing to win. They don't play it like an exhibition game, but they're also having fun. And it goes to show you, you can perform, you can have fun, and people who are enemies on the field during the regular season become friends in the dugout, and that's the other thing I like to see.
Tuesday night, the Guerreros did become the third father-son duo to homer in an All-Star game, joining the Griffeys and the Bonzes. As you said, you knew Junior before his current Triple Crown hunt when Senior was beating the cover off the ball with your Expos. To see that young man right now doing what he's doing at center stage, as you mentioned, got to really stir up some emotions in you. But we also do have to come to peace with what lies ahead of us, and that being an MVP race on that side of baseball. We're talking about top-tier talents all over the place. How does Vladdy stack up? And I know this is not a bullet point on the voting sheet, but what did Tuesday night show you in terms of this young man, his capabilities, and his viability as an All-Star? Not just an All-Star, but an MVP.
I'm not sure that MVP voters take into account what happens during an All-Star game, but I'll tell you, when Vladimir squared up for 470 feet tonight, everyone said, wow, I know he can do that. But when you look at the regular season, I think it's hard to look past Shohei Ohtani as the MVP right now going into the second half. Again, I have to reiterate it, in case you're just turning on HQ now, Shohei Ohtani was the starting pitcher, got the win, batted leadoff, and was in the home run derby. I don't think I can possibly say it with any more emphasis. This is the MVP of the American League, no doubt. It would be nice if the Angels could get their act together. It'd be nice if their team ERA could go down just a smidge, so maybe they could start to be a little more competitive and get into the playoffs, which, I hate to say it, I don't think is going to happen this year.
Reports Ohtani was also taking ticket stubs at Gate D this evening. Found some time in there, David. All said and done, when we're talking about the game here, AL dominance continues, 8 straight at the Midsummer Classic. Can you point to something behind this current streak, or is it just year after year coincidence?
It's very random. If you look back at the last, 75 years of the All-Star game, it seems to go in streaks where the American League wins a bunch, the National League wins a bunch, and now the American League is on their streak. I was thinking back to the 2017 All-Star game, which we hosted in Miami, and somehow the American League was able to win it in the 10th inning with the Robinson Cano hit in the top of the 10th. The American League has just found a way to win these last 8 years. It used to count more. I remember focusing very much in '03 who was winning the All-Star game, because that would say who was going to have home court advantage, home field advantage in the World Series. Now it's just an exhibition game, though the winning players do get paid cash money.
Young Joe Musa was sitting out in the stands there at U.S. Cellular when that one went to the AL side back in '03. So we come full circle here on HQ, David. We do tend to situate these All-Star games by those very moments. Is there a moment? What is that moment? How will you remember this All-Star break?
So I've got two memories. The first one is about Henry Aaron. This All-Star game was supposed to be played in Atlanta. It was taken out of Atlanta and put into Denver. Henry Aaron passed away this year, and he was honored in Colorado. Everyone wore a 44 jersey during the Home Run Derby. There was a very special video narrated by Lenny Kravitz that I hope educated people about Henry Aaron and what he was like as a man and as a player. That's my number one memory, most important memory. The second is all the fans in the stands. What a pleasure to see 50,000 people watching a baseball game again. That's what gave me chills. Seeing the smiling faces, seeing fathers and sons and mothers and daughters and families and people doing business and eating hot dogs. It means that there's a chance that we are heading back again toward normal, and that made me smile.
No doubt a notion of normalcy, and it was a great scene, a great event held there at Mile High. Just before we go here, David, we do have to make it official. The MVP honors here for the All-Star game do go to Vladdy Jr. We got this one right, correct?
There's no question. He hit that home run, and that's sort of how it goes, right? You have to be on the winning team. Then you look to see who hit the home run that mattered, the first home run. If there had been a Chris Bryant hit, if Walsh doesn't make that catch, maybe Bryant gets the MVP if the National League comes back. But what Guerrero did, that looked like a home run derby home run. It looked like an Alonso shot from last night. So it's so great that he won the MVP, and I know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to take the trophy, and he's going to go see Vladimir Sr., his father, and they are going to take a picture. They're going to revel in the fact that they are now one of the top three, maybe, generational family talents in the history of Major League Baseball.
At 22 years and some 119 days, he becomes the youngest MVP of the Midsummer Classic. Memorable moments throughout the week. We thank you for weighing in, and I do need you to pull some strings. Get these guys back in their uniforms next year. I need it from them.
They were awful.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.